In the last lecture, we learned about that hierarchical injector. And actually, this injection behavior leads to the behavior we see here. Now, that's not a bug, that's intended. You might have an application where you want to have many different instances of the same service, where you absolutely don't want to have the same instance. But sometimes you want to have the same instance, and we definitely do. Because right now, for our account service, we have 3 instances. The first one gets created here in app component. We provide it here. App component receives its own service, or its own instance of the service, I should say, as do all the child components. Now you might say, fine, because new account and account are child components. Right. But there we provide it again, and hence we override the instance we would get from the app component. Now new account and account component have their own instances. So these are the other 2 instances of this service class. And therefore, if we add a new service, we call add account. There we push it on this array of accounts, and this actually works, but it's a totally different instance of the service than the one we use here in app component, the one through which we loop. How can we fix it then here for our app? Simple. We just remove it from the provider's array. Don't remove it from the constructor. We of course do need it here because that tells Angular that we want an instance. The provider's array basically tells which instance, so there we needed to remove it. And the same for account component. Leave it in the constructor, leave the import at the top, but remove it from the provider's array. With that little change, if we go back to the application after saving it, let's add another account. Now you see it at the bottom. Now you can change the status again. So this is the difference. Different instances of the service. Now we're using one and the same, before we weren't. Both may be the behavior you want in your app, but make sure that you get the correct one.